Ladies and gents, this is EPICENTER 2019 here live in Moscow. We've got Vitality versus Mousesports here for the third and final map to decide who will be taking the trophy home. Will it be Mousesports' fourth tournament or in a row, or will it be Vitality? It's going to be intense. That's all we know right now. And to start things off, Mousesports, they've got a handful of nades here. Carrigan will harass the door, but he's shut down straight away. Shocks with first blood.
Do wonder if he was trying to pull rotation. Well, Vitality will just force their way through the lobby. Chris J trying to defend a very weird position. Lots of players outside as well, so there will be problems for Vitality. 2v3 now can quickly change, but RPK might not know how close people are. Racing up towards heaven with Zywoo around that mini position. Woxic in hell. Rob still fishing with the P250, and Zywoo makes his way downstairs. It's a guesswork now as Mousesports slow things down. Frozen moving with Woxic. Rob's alone with the bomb, and he could get cut off, in fact, by both the Vitality players. This could get very interesting indeed. How deep does Rops go before his teammates activate?
Yeah, you'd expect that his teammates will be able to make some noise here. Indeed, they're running around, the glass will be broken. Rops will have the cover of that distraction, but he may not have any help here because his teammates are getting destroyed. But Rops, it was just enough distraction for him to deal the damage, get the kill, and put RPK in a 1 versus 2. RPK's great in these positions on Nuke, and he's going to shut down Rops. He's looking to shut down Woxic, and he will. And that's a great clutch to make for Vitality. Get that good start to the CT economy. It is much needed, but once again, I remind everybody that every map so far, every half, both teams, like, it doesn't matter whoever wins the pistol, they convert the next 2 rounds, and then they lose. They lose that fourth round. They lose to the first buy of their opponents. So we've had an incredibly contested game all the way up until this point. I wonder if this will be any different.
They called RPK reliable. 4 kills in the pistol round. Not a bad way to start off the last map. Vitality make their way into the vent. You can see Woxic looking for something outside. Not quite getting there on that occasion, and Rops is lurking with the Desert Eagle as well. Alex actually with the taking out Carrigan, and Woxic has lost his scout. 5 versus 3 in this anti-force buy. Make it 4. Rops at a 180. Okay. We're getting spicy early, it seems, on Nuke. The 180 from Rops, he is ready. And Frozen, we saw him be sharp on Mirage, and he'll continue. 1 versus 2 now, spotted by Mini. He still has a minute on the clock. He doesn't have the bomb, but he does have a Desert Eagle.
The amount of 1-digs in this game has been... Oh my God, Frozen, please! RPK is a distant memory. And now it's up to Shocks. He's got an auto shotgun. I have to say, that feels like a fairly ideal weapon for this. Frozen's so weak, but if Frozen gets the drop on Shocks, Shocks really doesn't seem to have any idea exactly where Frozen could be or the timings. And Frozen has, speaking of time, just enough time, but the timing is with Shocks. Oh, it's perfect. And I mean, this is exactly what happened. Mousesports seems so reliable, James, in getting all this damage with the Deagles. It doesn't really seem to matter the situation.
Nobody needs a warm-up. That much is for sure. Look at the slightest change in the odds. The slightest change. See, EGB, that's a coin flip. I told you it's a coin flip. 2-0 for Vitality. They start off well, but boy, did Mousesports do some damage. Look at the money left for Vitality. That's a great start. And there are plenty more Deagles where those came from. Carrigan now looking in the hut. RPK on a very high ground. Plenty of spam to be had. Mousesports go fishing once more.
Rops with anti-eagle. All the Deagles again. How much damage will they do this time? I feel like they already did so much. It seems kind of unreasonable. Apex will find himself Chris J, so that's 1 pistol out of the picture. But the picture still is fairly threatening. Rops, oh, he's going to be able to find Apex there with a couple meat shots. Zywoo's in position, though, to abuse that, and Frozen can't get the follow-up. Woxic, it's on Woxic to get another kill, but he'll go down, and it's only 1 kill, but given the kills that they had previous, you know, that's actually a lot of damage. That's 5 kills within 2 rounds just with the Deagles, so I feel like the Deagles really paid off.
Not too shabby at all. Well, let's see if those statistics from the previous maps will continue. See if Mousesports will win this round. Woxic didn't buy a Deagle in that previous round to make sure he had the money for AWP Kevlar. And indeed he does. A mixture of AKs and Kriegs for the rest of the team. HE for Squeaky Door. Plenty of grenades for Mousesports as well. Shocks on the auto shotgun still. Outside of Apex on the UMP, we've got rifles for Vitality. Alex on the AUG. Mostly seen on Carrigan on CT sides, but seems that Alex is a fan as well. Woxic waiting for a misstep from Vitality. Shocks on ramp with the auto. That is very interesting. Can't play every angle in that position. See what he's able to do. Heading to the minute mark for Mousesports now after their initial map control.
Very quiet here. I have to say, Vitality have done well holding on to as much utility as they have. There's just enough utility to execute onto this upper bomb site. That's what Mousesports are looking for here. Looking to go for that burst, but it feels very fortified. Player on top of the huts. You got Apex there close by as well. It's going to be difficult to break this one. Swinging through to main as well. RPK retreating to a more defensible position, but he'll get taken down by the swing from Hut. Chrisjay takes down Apex, trays for days as it goes to 3v3. And it's Alex there to try to take the next trade, but it's not going to happen. It's all up to Shocks. He's got an auto shotgun. He's around hell. I don't think anything's going to come of this auto shotgun in this position.
Well, look at the health, though. If he does choose to go for this, he doesn't have a defuse kit, so maybe he'll try and pick up a weapon. It would be madness to actually try and clutch this with the shotgun, but I wouldn't be sad to see it. But indeed, he will quietly play for an exit frag. Shocks as Mousesports get their first run on the board. So your observation continues to be correct, Dan, as the first buy round is won by the team who lose the pistol. Mousesports getting off to winning ways in the first buy round. And the damage they did with those Deagles earlier on comes into play very quickly indeed.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, Shocks can drop a rifle for Alex, and Zywoo could go glass cannon AWP if he wants. I think because it's Nuke, he may decide not to do that. We'll have to see what happens, but that auto shotgun has a lot of utility, of course, famously around the hot position. Obviously, can work towards ramp as well. You can try to go for a two-man setup. And potentially, you could try to like push towards trophy room with two players, get Shocks in a deep position there, then maybe split off and rotate the support that he had to get there. There's lots of different ways you could try to use this auto shotgun, but it's going to be a difficult round, that is for sure, because Mousesports are going to have every toy to work with, and Woxic's on the AWP now. So we'll have to see if Vitality can weather this round. The lack of utility is going to be very painful if Mousesports play it if Mousesports go for at a snail's pace.
So we will pick up the AWP. He can play around CT, Heaven, Hell, even towards ramp with it. Plenty of work to be done with it. Initial incendiaries are out. Apex in the A bomb site. Woxic looking for peeks around mini once again. RPK with Apex. Playing a little far back just in case, being careful. Crowd continuing to cheer for Mousesports. Flash towards the garage. Mousesports will start to focus on the outside. But where is Zywoo playing? As you can see, he's outside that held position. May have to elevate himself if these smokes continue. So Mousesports are slowly taking map control, but they may have to find out where Zywoo is the hard way.
Oh, with a whiff there. That could be so important for Mousesports. They've managed to buy some positioning and force back Zywoo for a cost of nothing, effectively, there. Okay, well, there's the cost. Zywoo goes back to the angle, and Woxic's not ready. 40 seconds, and all of a sudden, Mousesports find themselves in a desperate position. The bomb's lost in main now. Chrisjay smoking forwards and grabbing the bomb, but there's no time, really. Again, another shot that you would expect Zywoo to hit, but it doesn't really matter too much because what are they even going to do? Frozen gets the pick onto Alex, but again, getting into this bomb site seems impossible. Mousesports don't seem to know what to do here.
Frozen still with a chance to do something. 16 seconds, and maybe that something is just holding on to this Krieg. But where does he choose to go? He knows Zywoo's in having to go in either direction, and he may have to just die in the smoke, and he'll do exactly that. Vitality turn things around. Mousesports able to take control around T-Red outside, but not do a whole lot with it. That pickup from Zywoo of the AWP proving important early on. Able to buy armor now in this round. Mousesports 1 to the 4 of Vitality. Starting their CT side well. That kid's not impressed.
Man, I wonder what the Vitality fans' faces looked like when Frozen got that ridiculous clutch on Mirage. That must have been... This was quite a shocker, that one. Well, Alex will take down Chris J. Vitality looking really strong right now. RPK with an elevation. That's a great trade from Robs, though. Unexpected as well. He grabs the AK. This could be devastating. Robs with the spray, trying to get Apex, but it will be Apex locking down that main position, and he is not done. Alex is not done.
Alex is back.
Alex is back.
Looking to have another nuclear performance, no pun intended. Money's been broken for Mousesports, but the crowd not been broken at all. The chance of let's go Mousesports, let's go. There's a lot of Mousesports signs out there, a lot of Woxic support as well.
Love to see it.
Growing fan base for the explosive sniper.
Same for Vitality too. They got a good support in this arena. Oh man, that nade was fantastic. Mousesports really reeling in agony from that one. Vitality are looking really strong here, James. They're racking up the rounds. They're
very quickly as well.
Yeah.
Nuke is not easy for a T side. Rob's ever patient with Desert Eagle, but he will be denied on this occasion. 6-1. Loss bonus is high, and Mousesports back on the buy. Zywoo's got 64.50 in the bank and a full buy. This is a good sign for Vitality, looking healthy at the moment on the defensive side of Nuke. 4 AK-47s and the Krieg out for Chris J. They've got the smokes they want to wall outside. They've got the mollies to force Vitality from their positions to maybe stop a secret lurk later on. Got the early flashes outside as Mousesports try to head towards T-Red. They will do so quickly. Alex will hear his footsteps at the very least as he chooses to go for a flanking timing. Got to be careful. Never know if there's a lurker, but those are pretty much 4 separate footsteps he's heard. 2-man spray down. The bomb is taken away as well. Now Frozen's got to do something from the low ground. There's a Molotov, but thrown by the CTs rather than the Ts. Not what we were expecting.
Yeah, this is really difficult. You're in a situation where now Mousesports have to take really big risks, and you almost have to just you have to win a 1v1 here. Woxic has to, well, someone has to win a 1v1 to be able to open up that bomb. Obviously, they've taken forward positioning around the vents, but the other issue as well is that there's so many CTs left alive. They can really cover pretty much all positions. So I can't really understate the disadvantage that Mousesports are facing here. But Rob seems to have a very good read as to the position of RPK. He's waiting for a peek from that CT vent. And he's so patient. How is he so smart? RPK will go down, but there's still Zywoo who's just sitting on that bomb like a dragon on a treasure hoard. He's not leaving it alone, and he is just as fearsome. 3v3 now, 40 seconds to go. And Robs is doing what he can to work this position, but Alex is directly below, and he's going to take down Robs. It's looking like it might be over here for Mousesports in this round soon, but or maybe a chance, but no. It's just too much to handle. What a round from Alex.
Looking like a shutout for Vitality so far. And let's not forget how hard they had to work to get to this point in the first place. Reaping the rewards for the time being. Money broken again for Mousesports, 3,500 for the most part. They're able to spend a fair amount of cash again. That's the only benefit, really, of the maximum loss bonus. A Galil for Robs, a bunch of pistols, some flashes, and the like. A HE, so it could be a fast play. There's a HE towards Squeaky, as per usual. The smoke towards Mini, and one to try and create some space to maybe go down the vent, but Chris J will get cut to ribbons by Alex very early on. 4 players remain. Robs still with that rifle. But no real map control. Risks must be taken. Creeping around the smoke is Robs. Carrigan's found his way into Mini, though. But he might need a distraction from his teammates to play off of. Shock's looking for a combo in the smoke. Nothing doing just yet.
Robs might have a timing. He's going to hit that reload. Robs might be able to win this 1v1. He's waiting for a reposition. And Robs, he's quite smart in terms of like figuring out how players might rotate from position to position. He's looking for Shox. Shox has no idea. Ross might have nailed this. Indeed, he has. There's a gun upgrade there for him as well. That's a good start here. Now, it's very difficult to know exactly how much more position you might want to take here. He's just going to hold onto the ramp and cover for pushes whilst his team gets into position. But look at that. Alex, Apex already in position here. And now it is just Rops and Frozen left, and they don't really have anything to work with. A Deagle and a Galil, it couldn't really be all that much worse. And the positioning here is so favorable for Vitality. Alex with that Krieg, James, he's just been that Krieg has been a huge problem in the hands of Alex.
14 for 4. He is having a rip-roaring start to Nuke, as are the entire team.
Yeah.
He's just storming forward at the moment. 8-1. It's a pretty big lead.
It is Nuke, though, so it is a different ball game compared to Inferno and Mirage.
Yes, it is. But the onus is on Mousesports to give themselves a fighting chance moving into that second half.
0 kills on Woxic, not a good prospect.
Yeah, now maybe they have got their best buy of the half so far. Squeaky door blown off once again. Vitality not gifting anything for cheap to Mousesports. Alex with these forward plays from map to map. Absolutely ridiculous.
Mousesports might be going for that upper burst again. They do have a huge degree of utility, which they should try to use, and Frozen will use a bunch of his, harassing outside, but these forward setups. Oh, that's a great frag, Frozen. Good call there from him, but Apex just as good, able to get the trade kill. And that means that Mousesports know that Vitality have the information that they're not outside. So they're going to be walking into a very prepared setup no matter where they go. Shox will fall back, so ramp seems to be somewhat open here, but there comes the rotation. Zywoo whiffs the shot, actually. Almost goes down, but he is safe for now. Mousesports double back. They know they have a quick timing to the upper bomb site.
They've taken position on all but RPK. He's one of the top fraggers at the moment for Vitality on this map, and he is causing massive problems. That's the bomb spotted, delaying his buying time for rotation as well. Has he done his job? Zywoo up on the high ground, leaves Rops alone. 35 seconds in a 1 versus 3, trying to advance, but advancing into RPK, who racks up even more kills. 3 in that round, making it look easy, 9-1.
It seems to be the case that one of the keys here for Vitality is how domineering Alex has been outside, as you mentioned, these aggressive plays and setups. And that was, I think, originally with G2, where you had the likes of Shox playing on that G2 lineup when he was there. That was kind of an iconic thing for them. They had so many aggressive outside setups. Shox almost, I felt like, playing the T-Red container like most rounds and having a player or 2 players sometimes supporting him. And it feels like Vitality are so strong there. It feels like Mousesports they've got to meet that. They've got to be able to take outside away from Vitality. And so far, they've really been unsuccessful in doing so.
And we continue. Pistols again for Mousesports. These rounds are coming and going very, very quickly indeed. And they seem to all be going the way of Vitality. The fast attempts into the vent have been denied on multiple occasions. They sprayed down the advancing play with ease. Speaking of which, Frozen tries to make it a secret, but there will be no secret for Apex.
So we'll look to control the flow of players, cut down the numbers. A leg shot is had, but they want to swarm Zywoo. That's not a bad call, but he has all this utility here to keep himself safe, and you can see they will abandon that plan in the face of the Molotov. Once again, feeling maybe they have a timing on upper, that there's a rotation out of the upper site due to the ramp presence. However, RPK, he's been a fortress on that A side as well, and he's repositioned towards CT Vent. He's got support from Alex coming in here as well. There's a smoke. There's another smoke to go as well. It's no way in here. They're locked out completely. Just back and forth between ramp and lobby. No way in.
Shox spots the bomb. Will he hold position though? He's got one above him. The flashbang seems to work out to some degree. 4 versus 2. Again, this is basically an eco round for Mousesports. 10 is almost guaranteed for Vitality. Shox has fallen all the way back. So the remainder have to identify where he is again. It buys/wastes some time for Vitality and Mousesports respectively. Woxic's carrying the bomb. He might actually get an angle on Shox here. But I don't think he's going to look the right way. Well, he's spotted him now. There we go. A bomb planted at the very least and a rifle collected. Maybe there's a chance for an unlikely round here. Will he have a chance to fire his gun, though? He will, but maybe only 1 or 2 bullets. 10-1 for Vitality. Is there anything left for Mousesports?
Again, I really think that we need to see Mousesports winning outside control and actually mixing up the way they're working their strategies on the outside. Because if you control outside as the CTs in deep positions, it gives you an enormous degree of information. There's no ability for Mousesports to have sneak someone down, sneaker it, and have them be able to pop up the vent, or have someone be able to, if they quickly want to switch up to ramp, have someone be able to backstab the ramp player if he tries to fall back from ramp. There's so much value in having outside, and the CTs are getting it way too easily. Looking to try to get an opener from the door position again, though, but ZywOo has a better weapon for this. Oh, God, it's playing with fire. Mousesports lucky to not lose a player there.
Deep smoke in the squeaky position, but Robson Frozen are both on the A-bomb side, and done even better. Frozen is back, it seems. 3 versus 2, still doable, but Alex could get caught out. He will do. Shocks now, trying to make it worse. Has he got any clutch in him? 1 versus 3, looking for number 11. Woxic has an angle on the high ground, and it'll be pretty easy for him. Too many guys alive for Mousesports, and they finally get their second round on the board. They could still get 5 rounds out of this half. That would be quite something, the way things have been going, but they're not shut out just yet from Nuke.
Yeah, and again, one of the other issues is that one of the things about outside controllers, it's kind of one of the fundamental aspects of defaulting on this map. And we haven't really seen one successful default from Mousesports. That's another issue. They can't just rely on running out of hut and getting the kills like that. I mean, maybe they can. We'll have to see. Time will tell. Vitality have just been incredibly strong on the basics. Their fundamentals to their CT setups is really incredible. And Mousesports, of course, are struggling with that. I mean, that's one of the things is that you don't want to go outside as well, because ZywOo's out there with an AWP. It's definitely very difficult. Oh my goodness. There's a slight gap in the smoke there. That could have been fatal, but Frozen's lucky to be alive again.
Mousesports really could do with 3 from 3 here. Taking a slow approach to the creep towards Secret outside now. Some concern about potential sprays.
Yeah, stressful.
Rops looking for an opening on the A-bomb site in the meantime. Almost getting one. Taking the duel with RPK, but he's been strong on the A-bomb site.
He's winning every fight. Alex gets a jump spot there. He knows what's going on. He'll slow them down. That buys time for his teammates to rotate from ramp. That means Shocks will get down there and assist him.
He sees 3 of the 4 players with that jump peak. That's so much information.
And it's a good bet where the lurker is as well. Carrigan playing door, trying to catch rotation down to the vent. The spray through the floor there. Can he make it work? Alex down to 24 HP. Oh, bomb plant in the smoke here. There is a chance just yet for Mousesports. Really trying to make this work. Christian, how did he get that one? I think there's a slight gap there. And now Carrigan's, his lurk has actually been activated. And Apex will go down. And ZywOo, again, they took ZywOo out of the equation. And maybe that's their game plan, James. Maybe the game plan is all around just trying to avoid ZywOo. But
it's not a bad game plan, Dan.
But the fact of the matter is that RPK is really good. Alex is really good. Shocks and Apex, they're also very good if you give them the opportunity. But this did work out quite well. And I think that's the first time, I think it's fair to say, that Mousesports got players down secret without losing somebody.
Yeah, without colossal damages.
Yeah.
They make it to 3. It's looked bad. It's looked rough. The score has been painful, but Mousesports are finding their feet on Nuke late in the first half. There are 2 more rounds to be collected by the likes of Mousesports, and there's still money for Vitality. They will have a full buy in this round, so it won't be easy for Mousesports just yet, or even easier. A timeout has been called. Crowd have been fantastic all weekend.
Yeah.
Look at them. With no hometown team, they're still going absolutely bananas.
Respect. Right then. Mousesports desperately trying to find their way to 5 rounds. The economy for Vitality is unrelenting. There will be no option for Mousesports to get a cheeky, anti-force buy around where Vitality have pots and pans to fight with, and maybe that's how Mousesports get around this. There's none of that. They have to win against pure buy rounds against the AWP of ZywOo. That said, it was quite an expensive buy up here, so although ZywOo's AWPs will continue, as he has 6K in the bank. Vitality aggressive outside once again, I believe. I think, is Apex out there? Looks like he might be. Yeah,
he's in mini.
Oh, okay, he's in mini. It's hard to tell on the map sometimes.
ZywOo's by CT, but he's repositioning now. Choosing where to go, getting a little closer. There might be a gap between those smokes, but look at that HE grenade. 51 damage immediately, and Frozen has seen nothing. But he's made his way down secret, and Woxic appears to be on the way. Sans AWP. Looks like ZywOo is spotting, but I can't imagine he would have seen anything. Otherwise, people would be dead.
So we have an interesting situation here in terms of the setups. So you've got the two players pushing down lower. Alex is in a great position to try to do some damage here, maybe get a kill or two. And he's got, yep, that's going to work out. Frozen unable to catch that. The rotation also seems safe. Alex is, oh my god, he's actually dodged like multiple players here. chrisJ will annihilate Apex, but in the meantime, Karrigan, it's about Karrigan on this big lurk. How much damage can he do getting up to heaven?
Distraction being run. Oh, he's run out of bullets. That's brutal for Alex. And Karrigan's activated now. The A bomb site's being taken. Bomb can get planted, and it's planted fast. One by Squeaky. That's ZywOo. But he's still alive. Where is Shox? That's a question. Coming into that mini position, he may have been heard. chrisJ going through the hut now while Karrigan continues to run distraction. ZywOo trying to figure out where chrisJ could be. Looking for him still. And ZywOo is alone now. Karrigan and chrisJ. Karrigan's rotating towards that mini position. Who's going to start spraying first? It's chrisJ in the smoke with the knife. That's one way to run distraction and find the fourth round. Great rotation from Karrigan. 4 rounds for Mousesports.
That was pretty intense. Just the dance that Alex did, the fact that he managed to get into the vent, get a kill, get up the vent. And the thing is that knowing where Alex was and the fact that he ran up the vent, the two players in Squeaky, sure there was a smoke up, but it's a very narrow choke point. Alex dodged the spray there. It's kind of crazy that Mousesports are pulling out these rounds here. It's taking quite a lot to do it. Again, Vitality are looking incredibly strong. Their nades are pretty bad here, but as I said, ZywOo had enough. He had 6K in the bank, so he buys an AWP immediately. And it's going to be a tougher round for Vitality, with less utility. I still feel very afraid for Mousesports, though. This such a deadly angle. Look at that. Beautifully done by ZywOo. And he'll dodge back into Garage. Oh, God, he's going for it. He's going to get caught on the rotation, though, and it's a 3v3.
That was so close. Rob's got 23 HP, and he's the person taking care of the bomb. And look at his push from Shox. But Rob's, that was absolutely nasty. Clinical finishing from him. And maybe help is on the way. There's so much time on the clock as well. Even if that bomb was spotted, it just becomes bait. You can see RPK's got an angle now. But that leaves Alex with so much to do. Rob's down to 1 HP. If he could just stay alive for the time being, show some presence. But his teammates are on a long rotation. chrisJ's on the way upstairs, I do believe. And that might take too long. Woxic waiting in mini in the meantime. Robs has been the bait, but surely he's about to get eaten. RPK is gone. He's facing the wrong angle, and things go from bad to worse. Alex alone, 1 versus 3 by the vent. Surely his silence has been spotted. He is surrounded. Mousesports make it to 5. A late comeback, 4 rounds in a row. Exactly what they needed.
Yeah, really good performance from Robs. He was really getting a lot of the kills in this one to keep Mousesports in the game. It was a very tough start. Let's not forget how difficult it was. Until the last 4 rounds, Mousesports only had 1. They won 4 of the last 4 rounds, and it was just domination from Alex initially. The outside aggressions, as you pointed out, really shut down the early defaults of Mousesports, and then they kind of seemed to not really know what to do, and they were playing a lot of these save rounds, and it got very awkward. So for the fact that they got 5 rounds in the end that's great resilience from Mousesports. But we can't forget that Vitality is looking so strong right now, and they've got 10 rounds on the CT side. This is going to be an extremely tough fight for Mousesports to get back into this one. So much pressure on their shoulders.
Crowd are just going more and more nuts every round. It's fantastic. Really enjoying this final. And what a final it has been here in Moscow. It's really delivered so far. 10-5. It's almost like Mousesports could barely believe the comeback towards the end there themselves.
Oh, for sure. And it's funny because I was 9 for 6, and I mean, sure, he wasn't hitting as many shots as we've seen on the first couple maps, but he also didn't get many opportunities because Mousesports, it seemed to be that they were trying to avoid him because they really didn't want to go outside, it felt like. Although that's where they got the most success, because once they got players down secret, that's what gave them consistent success.
You can hear those ticks. It's time to get back into it. The sides are going to swap. The pistol is going to be very key. With Vitality already on 10 rounds, if they can win that pistol and there's a force buy involved, we could be starting the half at a 13-5 scoreline. On the flip side, it could be pretty close. But we'll soon see. Who buys what? 2 sets of Kevlar so far on the Mousesports side. Look at this from Vitality. They have an instant plan. Well, you can't see it just yet because we're focusing on the trophy, the prize, along with the money here in Moscow. Alex, Apex, and RPK have a lot of grenades. There's a HE, which makes me wonder if that's for the squeaky door. Doesn't mean they commit behind it. Could just be a threat. Chris J and Carrigan also with HE, so I do wonder what they might have in response, Mousesports.
Indeed, Shox will make his way towards the hut. And Mousesports not going too aggressive anywhere, just looking to see exactly what their opponents are up to. RPK with that smoke for Mini. Alex will make his way out of the hut position. He's going to get taken down instantly. Zywoo, though, with the trade onto Woxic. A 1-for-1. But the bomb is going down, or at least it was trying to. Shox will get distracted by Chris J, but eventually it will be controlled by the French here. It's looking very desperate once again for Frozen and Carrigan in this 2 versus 3. They've got to find a way to defuse that bomb.
Mousesports, this is a must-win for them. Apex by CT Red, who will be the initial engager. Carrigan swinging, but he gets absolutely popped. 1 versus 3 for Frozen, surrounded. All the lasers trained on his face, and Vitality win a huge pistol round. Now what do Mousesports do? They'll go instantly for the force buy, and this is what I'm talking about. They lose the pistol. If they lose this force buy, we're basically starting 13-5.
Yep. But I think this is the right way to do it. You can't really be in a situation where you consider too much the deficit in terms of your thinking and try to be safe. If they can, I mean, sure, this is not going to be super high percentage, but if they are able to find a way to make it work, it gives them a much better chance in the long run to win this match. If it is successful. Carrigan on that Mag 7. Mag 7 has betrayed us all at times. What can he find with it? Get some damage on RPK, looking for the headshot, can't quite find it. More opportunities, more damage. I think a headshot was there on Zywoo, but only 1. And Zywoo will make it down unscathed. Well, he's scathed, but oh dear, Rops and Frozen again, and Woxic all chiming in, and suddenly every single Vitality player is buried.
Excuse me, WTF.
I just don't. How do you commentate that, James? What am I supposed to do?
That's kill feed commentary right there, buddy. That is absolute madness. Carnage, deagles everywhere, almost all at once. Well, Mousesports are back. That is a wake-up call.
Little nod from RPK.
That is a wake-up call. Double scouts now for Mousesports. It's still not perfect. Vitality maybe looking for a fast one. Let's see. Zywoo has a place to be, and that is through hut with the Mac 10. The HE won't come fast enough. Look at the swing on the A bomb site. What an instant response from Vitality, and they get more out of it. Zywoo with a second frag with that Mac 10. 4 on 3. It's 2 M4s for the retake at the very least. Apex coming in from the back. However, Woxic is still in CT spawn, but he's looking up for the flash, and Apex is going to get out. This is getting super awkward now. Woxic still alive. That's important information for his teammates, but it pulls one off heaven to deal with Apex's lurk. It won't be dealt with.
That's a really bad result. Worst thing that could obviously have happened. Mousesports' chances. Chris J trying to keep himself alive, and Vitality can afford to just throw everything at Mousesports if they really want to. Try to get rid of these guns. Looks a good nice headshot. Normally you'd say, okay, they want to protect their own economy, but in this situation with so many rounds to play with, if they get rid of all the guns of Mousesports, even if Vitality have a worse buy, it's actually going to help their chances to win more, because Vitality on the T side have way more options than crippled Mousesports by. So 12-6 Vitality. All they need is 4 round wins, and they will lift that trophy. They will break the final streak that Mousesports currently has.
Winning force buys back and forth absolutely favors Vitality for obvious reasons. And Mousesports will force back, but it's a very good force, all things considered. 3 M4 A4s. Woxic can drop. Oh no, he kept a deagle. Karragan's got another one. Chris J in the smoke now, but difference is there's mostly footsteps, or a lack of rather, because they're walking. How on earth does he pick the right time to come out here, Chris J? He will hit a tagging, but RPK's lurking far behind. Chris J still on the inside, moving towards the outside, but RPK's timing could be perfect. Indeed, it is absolutely perfect. That could have been everything, ended up being nothing.
And that's why you do that late flank. That is part of the plan to deal with that kind of a play. Oh, the big push and throws, and he's not in a great position to deal with that at all. Oh man, I think they just have to save here again. Woxic, he can try to get a headshot or two, and maybe he can. He does have that magical quality, but obviously it's not a consistent result, but he'll see what he can do from this position, at least get some damage in there. Keep the pressure on. Smoke to the window to prevent that angle from being used against him, but even though he connects that shot, again, it's just they can't make their way in. There's too much utility in the hands of Vitality right now. And you can see Vitality have already got the lurk plays to try to shut down these weapons. They do not want Mousesports to carry anything forwards into the next round, and maybe they won't, because RPK, he's an absolute machine. He is just annihilating them all. Terminator mode once again. RPK tank is back, James.
The King has a lot left in a tank, it seems. Vitality moved to 13. The force buy has failed for Mousesports. They might be in eco territory now, unless they just throw the kitchen sink in every round. Vitality 3 rounds away from breaking the streak of Mousesports. This crowd have been chanting for Mousesports all day, as well as other teams, but every Mousesports game has been quite in their favor. However, this situation is certainly not. $2,000 per person. A Galil for Karragan. Not much spent at all. Rops picks up a Zeus. So it will be Eco Town for Mousesports. They'll have to do it the hard way, and it will be extremely hard. Vitality with so much advantage now. Part of their default seems to be blowing off that squeaky door. Same cannot be said for every T side, but for now, for Vitality, it is.
Indeed. It is certainly a position that Mousesports can do something with. Although the advantages are, I mean, Vitality are towering above Mousesports right now. It's not over until it's over. We've seen too many comebacks from this point to count out the possibility. There we go, Frozen. Bit of damage, Iwi with the trade though, and Rock's trying to be cheeky. But he will be shut down. Chris J, this is nice because he will be able to actually most likely save that weapon.
It's a 2 versus 3. They've both got rifles and the bomb's not planted.
Kevlar though, no kit, it's tough.
Yeah, but look at the score. There is urgency to be had here. Chris J's trying to do what he can, but that will dramatically change things. 6-13, they've got to go for that, but Chris J getting taken out, that'll change everything. And Woxic, this could be an important save for him. There may be some sound cues for Vitality, but I don't know if they'll be able to get deep enough to take this weapon away. They are on the hunt, however, so we'll see what Woxic can do. The Vitality are just 2 steps away from the trophy, from being triumphant on the stage here in front of the Moscow crowd. Woxic trying to do what he can. Will he survive? He won't. Denied again. Too many sound cues on the high ground. A small window of opportunity, but risks had to be taken. They were, and they did not pay off.
Credit to Vitality to like hunting him down and being so successful. Alrighty, Vitality 2 rounds away now. Mousesports, it's, I mean, I can't quite say a full buy, but it's as close to a full buy as Mousesports can muster reasonably with what's with the situation they're in. It's so hard, James. They can't get one 4-buy. They have to win a couple rounds to earn that, and it's an upper rush. Karrigan will take down one. He's doing a good job here. Might be able to get another one. In fact, Frozen can capitalize on a distraction, and it's a hold. It's looking like a very good hold. RPK will go down at the cost of one player. Maybe Mousesports will be able to afford an AWP soon after all.
With that round, Mousesports have half the score of Vitality. They're on the favoured side, but they need a lot of rounds to go their way. Rifles galore for Mousesports. Vitality maybe looking for another fast play into the A bomb site, perhaps. Shox has a HE grenade, 3 MAC-10s and 2 pistols. They've got the round to keep doing this. But where is the HE? There we go. Squeak door blown off. ZywOo through the flames, trying to charge through. A ding-dong from ZywOo. Alex falls to the flames. ZywOo still alive now, looking for a second again, but he'll be denied by Frozen. Up in the heaven position. He's going to get blown up by RPK, though. Trying to go for a fast plant. Repositioning. Chris J stuck in the vent. Not a good position for him. Rops has a flashbang from his teammate. Swings out. Takes out a bomb planter. RPK. No bomb planter just yet. Now it's Apex alone and not for long. It is an expensive round for Vitality. It keeps their economy honest, but they've got around 6K on a bunch of players, and they're 6 rounds behind now.
Yeah, it's like such a bold call. I really like it to just go for that fast upper play again, because you can really catch the other team off guard. And Mousesports' economy was so kind of low. It's just one of those situations where you could just win the match off of it very quickly. But instead now this is the first time, round 23, or well, I mean, it's the second half, so not quite as many rounds as that, but first time in the second half we'll see a 4-buy from Mousesports with an AWP on Woxic. Let's see if this changes things for Mousesports' fate, or if Vitality, or if it doesn't matter to Vitality. They are going to respect the round a bit more and play it a little bit slower, Vitality.
That may slow things down yet more. Their positions were a little sinister. Looked like they may have had intent. We got one player on the roof to perhaps throw some grenades into A. But maybe a plan B has been called. Woxic moving into an aggressive position on the ramp. We'll see if Rop stays in situ or if he rotates. There's a first target, spots another one jumping on the cross as well. Flashbang, but you can mostly see. Has Rop's for support, rifle support always important. And now he's back to plan C for Vitality. Karrigan dropping off, makes it look easy for 2-man spray down. 5 versus 2 now, but Apex is on the A bomb site, trying to do what he can. He will be denied, leaving Alex alone. Taking out Karrigan by Squeaky. Has he seen Rops? He does, and now he's made it 1 versus 2. Oh, Woxic, he's missed it. You do wonder if they start to get nervous here. Even if Alex loses the round, he's doing so much damage, which could pay off in the rounds to come. Chris J will spot him and pop him. Mousesports almost at double figures, but that might make their buy weaker. That said, Chris J's got 7,500 in the bank.
Man, it's so tense, just as you said. Like, I was looking at 1v2 and I'm like, oh god. After that whiff on Squeaky, I felt like Alex was going to make some plays, but it looks like Vitality's money is finally starting to run out. They're going to be on a half buy here, I think. That said, Apex could drop an AWP, and they could buy around it. There is a world where they do that. Apex has bought an AK in Kevlar, though. Not quite the AWP. Is it the hero? Yes. It's a.
His money's still together with the team.
Yeah, he's got $2K still, so
they can afford to take this risk. And again, just try to maim Mousesports' economy yet more. But it has to be noted, Mousesports keep winning rounds. It's looking so bleak for them. But they're getting there. 1 round at a time. Don't focus on the overall score. Just focus on the round ahead of you. A HE for RPK. Smoke for Shox has just been deployed, and it looks like it might be a surge into the A bomb site once again. They're sure it's going to work eventually. Frozen from the right to the left. He's ready, as he showed on Mirage. He's got help from the high ground as well. He can focus on the left-hand side, but Apex got a lovely peek. He will get traded, though. 3 versus 2. It gets expensive again for Mousesports, and Alex might have more to do here. Oh my god, that is brutal. This is a giant problem for Mousesports.
It really is. The high ground is such a strong position to be in. The bomb, of course, has to be planted, and Shox will have the coverage from Alex. Mousesports have a lot of work on their hands. Alex is in an extremely strong position. Woxic with it all to do. Repositioning from Alex. Nice pick off from Woxic. He's going to have to push the issue. He can't make it happen, though. Alex will take him down. Woxic is dead, and Alex has pushed Vitality to match point here. Championship points.
From out of nowhere, a surge into A. Not like this, surely not. Look at what it's done to Mousesports. Frozen's got a Mag 7. Chris J with a Scout. Robs with a Deagle, which he's done a lot with in this series so far, but Vitality have everything.
Oh. Well, can't scoff at the Scout. Chris J gets a connect. One more or two more of those connections makes a huge difference. Those pistols start to become quite deadly. And oh, look at this huge risk he's taking, trying to jump up into the container. It was a really bold play, and risks have to be taken, but it's not going to pay off this time. Carrigan will just about escape to the headshot angle in time. And he does so in a perfect timing. They won't see that he's there, and he gets a free one. Zaiwu, though, is able to outmaneuver him and cut him off in the decontamination room. And now it's up to that Deagle of Robs, and it's not looking good, James.
Fire on the left and the right. Frozen. Oh, God, this is just so brutal. Woxic and Robs with the range. The sound cues are here for Vitality. They've got so many flashbangs. They've got a man advantage. The bomb's planted. Only Woxic has a defuse kit. There's just no way. Surely there's no way. Just down to Woxic now. He's the only man standing. Vitality have done it. They've broken the streak, and they've taken Moscow and the EPICENTER Championship 2019.